Good morning and welcome back to Kirkstone. It's quite dark today, not cold but definitely dark, so I don't know what the lighting is going to be like for this video. It's been quite stormy overnight, so there has been some more damage to the greenhouse while I was repairing the greenhouse, so this will be quite a quick video because I really do need to get back to work quite quickly on the outside. But my mood has been lifted by this arrival from Mario Schultz. Mario Schultz trades as Cactus Culture on eBay, based in Germany. So let's have a look at what Mario has sent us so far. Well, each plant is clearly labelled. I can see that already. So each of the individual packages has a label on, so we can identify straight away what it is that we're talking about, which is useful. To be honest, I wish everybody would do that. It cuts out a lot of the guesswork when you have a lot of similar items. So the first item we have is clearly labelled Gasteraloe. Now this is a hybrid between the Gasteria genus and the Aloe genus. Now there's been a lot of revision lately, as I talked about quite regularly on these videos, within that group that used to be known as the Liliaceae. So all of that section of the Asparagales which are related in some way to the lilies. Haworthia, Gasteria, Aloe of course, and others within that group. That's a lovely little plant. Look at that. So that's a hybrid between the well-known partridge aloe, Aloe variegata, and Gasteria armstrongii, which is a disticus species. So the leaves are arranged in two ranks. So it'll be interesting to see how that one actually develops when it becomes a mature plant. But a lovely neat little specimen with a nice little nest of roots there. And Gasteraloe variegata times Gasteria armstrongii hybrid. Now the second plant we have here is another aloe hybrid. Yes, we are going through a bit of a aloe hybrid phase here at Kirkstone. Now this is a Kelly Griffin hybrid called Bronze Lizard. Now this plant doesn't look that dissimilar to what I call the snow series. Snowstorm, Snowflake, Blizzard, and there are others. So you can see it's got that Rauhii ancestry perhaps mixed with a couple of other smaller growing species, maybe Decoinsii and others. But a lovely, nicely striped plant. In fact, looking at the underneath of it, there's a lot of what is now gone aloe, variegata. We will know that plant as Aloe variegata. So lovely, lovely stripes on the underneath and stripes and spots on the top. So that's the Kelly Griffin hybrid bronze lizard, and a lovely little offset there, perhaps to trade with a friend very soon. What else do we have? Now this is a plant I've been looking for a while. This is a strongly marked taxon, or a clone of the overall Aloe somaliensis clade. Quite a variable species, which aloe isn't a variable species. But this is a very, very beautiful, dark-leaved and spotted. So it has some of the look of, I don't know, juvena or jucunda or something like that. Very, very glossy leaves. But this particular clone has very, very marked red toothing on the margins. And it's actually known as red tooth. So Aloe somaliensis red tooth. Another lovely plant from Mario Schultz. I'm keeping these labels together for the obvious reason that I don't want to get mixed up at some later point and have to go back to the eBay order and try and work out what's what. And yep, it's another aloe hybrid. So we have quite a stable of aloe hybrids. Hopefully we'll be able to start our much delayed breeding program soon and see what we can make. Now this is a hybrid between that aforementioned Aloe rauhii and Aloe pseudoparvula. Very, very small, skimpy little thing at present, but it will develop into a very striking and unusual bluey grey plant. Okay, this languishes under the botanical sobriquet of Blue Horizon. Aloe hybrid Blue Horizon. So we'll just nick its name tag off there, stick it on there. Rubbish in the rubbish bag. What else do we have? Well, we did mention a couple of unwrappings ago that one of the plants that we were looking at was a hybrid with Gasteria armstrongii. So it had Gasteria armstrongii as a parent. And here indeed is a very, very strongly spotted form of that wonderful Disticus Gasteria species. Now I actually have 3 Gasteria armstrongii in the collection already, but this one's very different. It's not hybridized in any whatsoever. It is the pure armstrongii species, however we define species these days, but this one is particularly strongly spotted with silver spots. They're quite metallic, not just white, whereas the one most similar to this one that I have is actually marked with pale green to greyish tubercles. So quite distinctive and different in its spottiness. Gasteria armstrongii, the silver spotted form. Do we have anything else from Mario? We do. And you'll never guess in a million years what it is. Go on. Go on, guess. Well done. It's an aloe hybrid. And this is an aloe hybrid, another Kelly Griffin breeder from America. And this is a hybrid quite similar to a lot of Kelly's, what I call green aloes, but slightly different in that striking pink edging to the leaves. Slightly larger plant, this one, and very elongated leaves, so more like something with elongated leaves than a starfish. Quite a spiky look to it. Looks a little bit like Karen Zimmerman's hybrid DZ, a little bit. But this is pink blush, hybrid pink blush. Now, as we'll talk about in a minute, you will find this plant under different names. Particularly if you buy the plant from a supermarket or a horticultural wholesaler, it would be given a name like Belinda or Margaret or something. But the original calligraphy name for this was Pink Blush. And when we come to this last plant, we will see exactly what I mean. Now, I did originally have a plant of this clone a while ago. I'll just spread these out a little bit so I can squeeze this last one in the middle. Okay, I originally bought this plant before as Aloe Franco. Now there's a whole series of inverted commas calligraphy hybrids with these Italian or Spanish, no Italian male names. There's a Vito, there's a Franco, there's a Marco, and this indeed, as Mario has put on the label here, has been known at one time as, hope you can see that, Aloe Franco, and that is the name you will most often see. But this was not the name that Kelly gave this particular plant when it was originally bred. The original name was Lime Fizz. And nearly all of the Kelly Griffin hybrids that you find available, especially if you are browsing eBay, you will find under the horticultural mass market name. And sometimes people even change the names if they think the aloe will sell better, which is really, really confusing. But the correct name for this plant, in my opinion, and the name that Kelly gave it when it was actually bred, was Lime Fizz. And after all, shouldn't we call the plant by the name that the creator gave it, rather than the name that a supermarket gave it? So there we are. That's the 7th of our plants. All aloe hybrids, apart from the one Gasteria Armstrongii. So I'll just have a quick pan over there. So they're all smallish plants, none of which I would call a specimen plant. And what do we have here? Let's just fly over these. We have that lovely somaliensis form, so almost a pure species, I would say. But this is the one with the particularly redly, strongly toothed leaves. So this is the somaliensis taxon red tooth. And then we have that bronze lizard, the one that looks like an unlikely clonal amalgam of variegata and perhaps Rowii. And I think I've probably identified the parents there quite accurately, because it really does look pretty much like a halfway house between variegata and Rowii. So that's bronze lizard, its cultivar name. Then we have that little hybrid between the Gasteria and Aloe genus. This is the Gasteraloe, so we have about 7 or 8 Gasteraloes now. This is a Gasteraloe variegata times Armstrongii, or hybridized with Armstrongii. And because I've mentioned Armstrongii, we'll go straight there. This is indeed the silver speckled form of Gasteria Armstrongii. Very, very strongly marked and quite different from the more greenish form that you usually encounter in cultivation. Then we had that one that we talked about most recently, so probably known best as Aloe Pink Blush, and that's the name that we'll give it at present, but you will find it under other names occasionally. And then we have the Aloe Rowii times Pseudoparvula mix. So this is the hybrid that languishes under the name of Blue Horizon. And not much to show right now for Blue Horizon, but it will be getting bluer and greyer as it gets older. And that leaves us with the pick of the bunch, really. This is the plant that was mass marketed as Franco, but is more properly known by the name that its creator gave it, and Kelly Griffin called this Lime Fizz. Lime Fizz. And that really is a lovely plant. I mean, I would call that a specimen plant personally. It's a really, really good looking plant. So we'll fly over them one last time. There's the Gasteraloe hybrid. There's the bronze lizard. The somaliensis red tooth taxon. There's the Pseudoparvula hybrid, Blue Horizon. There's our good friend Lime Fizz. There's the similar but more feminine pink blush. And then finally that silver spotted, strongly marked Gasteria former, Gasteria armstrongii. So it's goodbye from me. A great unboxing from Mario Schultz, who trades us on eBay. I'll make sure the details are fully understandable on the title. If you have any comments about Mario's plants or anything else, then by all means comment. I'll be putting these plants up very soon, and you'll be able to see the potted versions on Facebook, on Kirkstone Botanica, and on the Kirkstone Botanica 2007 Instagram page. So right now it's goodbye from me, it's goodbye from Kirkstone, and it's back to greenhouse repairs. Bye bye for now.